Hello everybody, it's Ron Rich here. I want to make a video on the Record Store Day list, Black Friday Record Store Day 2023. If I was still working at the brewery, I would probably buy 6 to 8 records off this list. The fact that I'm retired and the fact that I think the only store in Bakersfield that did Record Store Day no longer does it, I probably won't get anything. But there were some interesting titles. The first one is the first one on the list. It's the 13th Floor Elevators, Bulls on Wood or whatever, Bulls of Wood. Their fourth album. Rocky Erickson, I think he's on 4 or 5 of the songs. He's not on the whole album. I've heard the album. I've streamed it. It's a good album. I like it a lot, and I would be interested in picking that up. I don't know how it's gonna sound, because I believe all their original master tapes were thrown out in the mid-70s. So I don't know, but that's one that is very interesting to me. Another one is The Doors live in Bakersfield. And that's because that's where I was born and raised, and that's where I'm living now. I think it would be pretty cool. It's The Doors live in the Civic Auditorium, place I went many times. They played in August of 1970. That would have been right before I started my freshman year in high school. And I believe it's around the time that this album was out. And they do several songs off of this. Surprisingly, there is a couple of videos on YouTube of those recordings. They sound okay. And I would probably get that if I came across it. And I'm sure the albums will sound better than what's on YouTube. The other one that probably is the one I would like to have the most, and I might order it through, the internet, is the Faces BBC recordings. I love the Faces. This is their first album. In the US, it said Small Faces, but it was actually the Faces. Fantastic band. I think one of the best bands from the early 70s myself. And I've streamed on YouTube the BBC sessions by the Faces, and they're fantastic, man. It's fantastic. Another one that I would be interested in, but I probably won't order it. Probably the only one I will actually order would be the Faces. But the other one is the Joni Mitchell Court and Spark demos. Now, she came out with a box set a few years back. And I think these are highlights from the box set. And this is the Archives Volume 1, the early years. This is the second one that came out. Joni Mitchell Blue demos, outtakes, and live. Both of these are fantastic. So I'm certain the Court and Spark one is going to be just as good. And if you're a Joni Mitchell fan, those are pretty cool to dive into. And the last one, I wouldn't get it, but if anybody it's the Grateful Dead, Fillmore West. I have this one. It's 1969, February 28th. I believe it's the March 2nd one that's being released. There's 4 nights in a row, and the March 2nd one is the final one that's being released. I have one of the 4. That's all I need. 5 record sets. They're fantastic. The only drawback is you got a 19-minute version of Turn On Your Love Light. Man, Pigpen goes on forever with that thing. But yeah, those are 5 Record Store Day exclusives that I would probably pick up if I was still working, I don't know if I'd get the Grateful Dead one because I have one box set from that. I don't need another one, I'm not one of those completists that needs all 4 nights. But there are there are a few Record Store Day first that are, I think, will be very good, but I don't know if you need to really sweat going in line or nothing, because they will be released later. That's what Record Store Day first means. And the first one would be the Black Angels, the Levitation Sessions. I have the Ty Segall Levitation Sessions, and I can't remember the band. It might have been King Gizzard. I don't know. There was another band I listened to on YouTube, the Levitation Sessions, and they're fantastic. And the Black Angels, of all the current bands that have the name Black in the title, I think the Black Angels might be my favorite of the bunch. Another first is the Various Artists Istanbul 70s Psych Disco Folk Edits. It's a 2 LP set. I think that would be pretty interesting. But it's a Record Store Day first, so. And the other one was that caught my eye was the Jerry Lee Lewis Live at the Palomino Club. Now, I remember Bip Bop Boom, one of the greatest channels in the BC. And I'll leave a link to one of his videos. He's a great guy. And on a live stream once, he was talking about a Jerry Lee Lewis live album that's fantastic. And I was thinking, oh man, maybe it's this one. I reached out to him. He let me know, no, it's Jerry Lee Lewis Live at the Star Club. Came out in 1964 and very possibly could be the best album of 1964. It would be either that or Hard Day's Night. This is the only Jerry Lee Lewis album I have. It's Greatest Hits Volume 1 on Sun Records. But I don't know when this Palomino one is. I don't know nothing about it, but I thought I would mention it because I did get a little bit of a little excited when I saw that. I go, oh man, but it's not the one. But I looked on Discogs. That Star Club one has been reissued a lot, so I'll probably get a reissue of that. Anyways, take care, everybody. Go out, have fun on Record Store Day. And if you don't, it's fine, but it's nothing to hate on, It's, I used to have fun doing it. My Record Store Day, or Record Store, he just said it wasn't worth the hassle anymore. So I haven't got anything, I think, in the last couple of Record Store Days. But anyways, take care. Take care, everybody. I was gonna do a video on the records I listened to today, and I probably will shoot that one and I'll just upload it later. But I wanted to talk about this. Got Live If You Want It by the Rolling Stones. And this album, I got the stereo version. Now, Bip Bop Boom was saying how great the mono version is, so I'm going, man, I need to get the mono version, Now, the stereo version, it sounds good. The band is on one side, the left speaker. The right channel has the vocals and the crowd just going crazy. So what I did is I sat like maybe 5 feet back, maybe 8 feet back, in front of the band speaker, and then the vocal one was off, a little bit, and it kind of balanced it out pretty good, and it did sound pretty good. But yeah, I'll probably do that video later. Anyways, take care, everybody.